Well, the Jays may have not gotten the sweep that we all wanted to see against the Pittsburgh Pirates this series. They win back-to-back series for the first time since April, 15th to the 21st. And I believe that last series win against a non-White Sox opponent was the damn Padres in San Diego. That was was it a series before I went to Kansas City? That's how far back we're talking here, that the Blue Jays haven't won a series against a non-White Sox team. It's crazy, but they've won back-to-back series now since then as well. They've won 5 of their last 6. They're back to 2 games under 500 at 28-30, even though we wanted this team to be 500 leaving this tomato can stretch. But those three straight losses against the Tigers really burned that. So you did your job today. Honestly, I was kind of baffled that they did. When they went down 3-1 and you weren't getting much offense, I'm like, boy, is this how this is going to go? And Rowdy Tellez is going to be the guy that's going to kill you? Albeit Rowdy Tellez drove in all 4 of their runs today. He had the RBI single in the third inning to score Connor Joe to make it 1-0. And then the top of the 5th inning hits a 2-run double, giving them the lead 3-1. And then the top of the 9th inning, to keep it interesting, hits an RBI single, scoring O'Neal Cruz to make it 5-4. Crazy, crazy stuff. But in the midst of all that, the Blue Jays did score 5 runs, which is their happy number. I believe, I think I saw the broadcast, they put up the number. When the Jays score 5 runs, 5+ runs, they're 22-3. That's it. We're not asking you to score 10, 15 runs a game. 5, more often than not, should be good enough for this team to win ball games. But they haven't done it enough. They really haven't. Now, bottom of the 3rd inning, got very lucky because Dalton Varsho scores on a wild pitch. As I talked about, I think it was a couple of videos ago with Danny Jansen. I think it was in the 14-inning game, actually, where he went down and blocked some balls, really tough blocks. Had to stretch to grab Genesis Cabrera's pitch that was wild, keeping the ball in front of him to not allow extra 90 feet or not allow an extra run to score, and you were able to walk that game off. In that bottom of the 3rd inning, look at the way the catcher's set up, right? And Buck Martinez does a great job talking about it on the broadcast, about the catchers being on one knee. Now, yes, it's a little bit more comfortable and a little bit easier to frame, maybe. But if a ball's in the dirt, like one was, I can't remember who was at the plate, but with Varsho at third, ball's in the dirt. He can't come across to block the ball. He tries to pick it. He can't. He knocks it to the side, doesn't know where the ball is, and Varsho comes in to tie the game at 1. If you're able to keep that ball in front of you, well, then no run crosses. Or it's a better opportunity to block the ball and smother it. But you can't do that on one knee. And also, if a ball like Genesis Cabrera was firing in the extra frame, where it was up and out of the zone, a lot easier to get up and catch it that way. So, again, there's a prime example there. You've tied the game. Then the top of the 5th inning, obviously, Rowdy hits the 2-run double and we go up 3-1, and we're through 4 innings. The Jays have really had no offense, and they have a wild pitch to score a run. That's the only time they've scored. But then, bottom of the 5th rolls around, and after they take a 2-run lead, the Blue Jays answer with IKF hitting an RBI single to right field. Then Davis Schneider drills a ball into the left center field gap. It's a single for him, though, because it's cut off by the center fielder. Was it the left fielder? One of the two. And IKF goes to third. So you have runners on the corners with nobody out. But then Danny Jansen pops out in foul ground to the third baseman, and you're like, okay, well, there's one out now. And Vladdy does a great job. I like when he's hitting the opposite field, it's just a beautiful scene, right? It's a slow ground ball, but they're playing him to pull. So he slaps it the other way in the hole between first and second. In comes Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. David Schneider up to third. And here we are, guys in the corners again with only one out for Bo Bichette. And he is royally struggling. You see his reactions on the bench. They were showing it on TV. He is not pleased with himself. He really isn't, because he strikes out on a good sinker from the starting pitcher in this one. And now there's 2 out. And the tying run's 90 feet away, and you got to find a way, right? And they bring in Hunter Stratton to face Daniel Vogelbach. And Vogie puts up a good at-bat and gets a fastball at 94 down the middle and drills it into the right center field gap. It one-hops the wall. 1 run comes in as David Schneider scores, and Vladdy goes all the way around from first, a head-first slide. He's safe at the plate. You look at Vogelbach at second. He is jacked up as Danny Burgers ties the game at 3. Actually, no, that's a lie. Gives the Blue Jays the lead It's now 4-3. Now, I know people love to hate on Daniel Vogelbach, and there's been moments where I've scratched my head being like, okay, why is this guy on the team? But we've all seen the numbers, right? Against right-handed pitching, what his OPS is for his career versus lefties, and it's not even close. He's over an 800 OPS hitter against righties for his career. And it's pretty damn good. As long as he's facing a righty, he'll do just fine. He will. And I think his first 3 at-bats today, every single ball was hit over 100 miles an hour. One was a line drive single up the middle. The other one was a piss missile right at the second baseman. And then the other one was the RBI double. So like him or don't like him, he's one of your productive hitters. And as my buddy Rob, talking on the podcast all the time, Danny Burgers is one of your scariest hitters, whether you like it or not. And he gives you the lead there. It's 4-3. Bullpen-wise, it gets a little interesting, right? At the top of the 6th inning, you got Chad Green out there, walks the first 2 guys, and you're like, are you kidding me? He finds a way to get out of that inning, no problem. I can't say no problem. Actually, it was a line drive right at Davis Schneider to end the inning, but regardless, great job. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Dalton Varsho doing Dalton Varsho things. Bunt for a base hit after making an outstanding play in the outfield, running that ball down in center field. What a play from Dalton. And the bunt single happens. And then Davis Schneider, was it a wild pitch he got to second base? How did he get on? He got to second base somehow. And then Davis Schneider drills one to left field, and it stays fair somehow into the corner. Varsho comes in to score. Schneider into second with a double, and it expands the lead. It's now 5-3 Blue Jays. Nice. And there's that happy number of 5 runs. Great. Then the top of the 9th inning rolls around, and Rowdy Tellez comes up, and God, he was like 3 for 4 in the game, wasn't he? 3 for 4 and drove in all 4 of the runs, gets the RBI single, but Jimmy Garcia with Jordan Romano on the IL locks it down in the 9th inning to win 5-4 over the Pittsburgh Pirates, and as I mentioned, win the series. All right, let's get to these player stats and then preview the Orioles series here. All right, before we go any further, Jays fans, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, go do so already. It would mean a lot to myself, so I'm just continuing to try to grow this page as big as possible. Davis Schneider, 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Danny Jansen, 2 for 4 in the ball game. Vladdy went 1 for 4, but I don't care. It's an RBI single, so good on him for that. Daniel Vogelbach, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. He's now hitting, 228 with a 313 OBP, and that OPS is up near 700 now. He's starting to find it. Dalton Varsho, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Good day in the office for Dalton, and obviously great defense. IKF 1 for 3 and scored a run as well. Started that rally there in the 5th inning. So great stuff all around. Excuse me. Chris Bassitt got the start for the Blue Jays, and he pitched inning number 1,000 for his career. So congrats to the Bassitt Hound for that. Picks up his 6th win on the season. Wasn't... Excuse me. I don't know where that's coming from. 5 innings, 8 hits allowed, 3 runs, 7 Ks, and 1 walk. Didn't have his great stuff today. You could see after he gave up the first run, slamming his stuff on the bench. He was not pleased with himself, but gave your team a chance to win, and your bullpen did a job. Chad Green in an inning, like I said, walked 2 guys, but struck out 2. Trevor Richards went a clean inning of work. Nothing doing. He's been awesome. Nate Pearson. Boy, his stuff looked good. He went in an inning, allowed 1 hit, but got a strikeout. And Jimmy Garcia, allowed a couple hits and a run, but did strike out the side and picks up save number 3 on the season for himself. Now, we turn our focus to the Baltimore Orioles because, look, the tomato can schedule is over. Now we truly find out in the next, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that, as to what this team will be doing. And we heard I think we all heard on, was it a radio show or something, about Ross Atkins talking about wanting to sign Bo and Vlad, and they're constantly in top, blah, blah, blah. Until I see it done, I'm not believing a lick of what Ross Atkins says. Sorry, not doing it. All right, game 1 of the Orioles series goes tomorrow. It's Kevin Gausman versus Grayson Rodriguez. So that's going to be a doozy of a matchup. Look, the offense stinks. If the Jays' offense can be competent, they might have a shot. But we've seen enough even the Orioles series at Camden Yards earlier on in the year, the Jays' offense was horrific. But both teams sucked. But you lost the series because Jordan Romano gave up a walk-off shot to Adley Rutschman. So, game 1 is that. Game 2 on Tuesday night is Corbin Burns, and it's TBD for the Blue Jays. That's probably going to be Bowden Francis as he comes back off the IL with Manoah, getting a second opinion. Probably going to find out the results of that second opinion on Thursday, so we'll see what happens there. And Corbin Burns is Corbin freaking Burns. He's great. Game 3 is Jose Barrios on the mound for the Jays in the Game 3 on, was that Wednesday night? And it says TBD right now for the Orioles. And the finale on Thursday is Kikuchi, and he needs a bounce-back start. His last 2 have not been good in the Orioles. I think historically light him up pretty good. So we'll see how that goes. And obviously it's TBD right now for the Orioles as well. So, you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and I guess the win today and the series win and 5 of the last 6, all that stuff, hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not done so already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course TikTok is down below. So follow up there if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys Jays Edition tomorrow night. Game 1 of this 4-game set against the Orioles at Rogers Center. Grayson Rodriguez, Kevin Gausman is the matchup in Game 1 tomorrow night. 7:07 first pitch there. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and the win today. Talk to you guys then.